All right, everyone, I wanted to do a little, I'm going to change Miss Penny today. This is my Panina. She is the Tate Sculpt. She was fully painted, rooted, completed by Claire Taylor. And so I'm going to change her today and put her in a different outfit. And so that's who we're going to feature on this video today. Look how sweet she is, her sleeping self. Little sleeping beauty. All right, so let's get into this video. Hey everyone. All right, so I've decided I wanted to sit down and kind of just relax. The kids are outside with Dad playing in the pool, so I can have some time just to shoot a video. It's not easy for us mothers to have some time away, okay? So I wanted to bring on Miss Penny because I was going to change her into an outfit that I'm going to show you guys. And I've had this little lamb chop. This is my lamb chop. And she was actually completely created by Miss Tanya over at Put a Bonnet on It Nursery. She made this beautiful little lamb chop for me, or I call it lamb chop because this is what she looks like. But this is now I have a llama that my daughter bought me for Penny, but I have her I guess a little decoration, and so I decided this will be her lovey too, since this will stay in my personal collection because it was created for me as a gift. So it's with her. Now, before I get into changing her, I wanted to show you guys, I got a little quick haul, kind of, off of reborns.com. There's an artist on there. Her first name's Carrie, and I'll tag her her Reborns account down below because I always love the clothes that she puts out. She made this little outfit, which I could not resist. I mean, I could, but I chose not to. It was a cookie theme. And it's, this is so cute with the little mouse and the cookie. And I just thought it was so cute. So I got this in a newborn size. It has these matching socks, as you see there. And then look what she did with the shorts. This is so sweet. So this is a little outfit. I don't even know who I'm going to put it on. When I saw it, and it's based off the bookie, If You Give a Mouse a, I think it's called If You Give a Mouse a Cookie, something like that. I loved it. I just thought that was cute. The other one she did, these navy blue shorts, and then another mouse and cookies and milk this time, and then the socks. Now you guys, this is this deep blue. This is going for my boy Philip, so he's my blue boy. And when I saw it, and this is 0 to 3, and it does look like it'll fit on him okay. I found with my Philip, he is the Willow Sculpt from Claire Taylor. I find with him that he looks like he can fit on that 0 to 3, 3-month size, depending on the cut of the clothes, that he would be able to fit that size. So that's what I got for him. I got that for him, and that's him. Like I said, blue looks great on him, and I think that's going to be his running theme is blue. So now I've got to think about how I'm going to fix his wardrobe because he's blue. He's blue, and I just have to see how I'm going to do it. So for little miss over here, I did change her bodysuit, which you all will see, because I had this on her, this pretty little floral bodysuit, and I took it off. But today I'm going to put on this little suspender set, little shorts, and it's got these pretty pink flowers on it. And then the top is like this muslin material with the ruffled collar, and then little buttons in the back. And it's a little bodysuit, long sleeve. That's what she's going to put on. She already has socks on her feet, so I'm just going to keep that on, but I'm going to put this on her. So I showed you just a little mini haul and what I was going to do for Mr. Phillip. Eventually, I'll get around to him. I haven't changed his clothing or anything because I want to keep him as he is. Oh, and I will put this headband on her. This is a beautiful headband that I love. That I'm going to put that on her with that outfit. So let me get Miss Penny up. This is her little pacifier clip. And right now, I have her in her little llama sleeper. Now, no matter what I change her clothes into, I'm going to always put this little sleep sack on her because I love the sleep sacks. I don't do it for all my dolls, but she's one that has a sleep sack. My Brana has a sleep sack, and then my Olive has a sleep sack. And so that is a tongue twister. Sleep sack. Say sleep sack 3 times. And then I had just spritzed her hair up a little bit. She has some thick, gorgeous rooted hair. Claire did a beautiful job with her rooting. And this hair is so thick. When I started to spray it and then push it out and just lift it up, it's a lot of hair on her head. So that was, you know, I was like, okay, she has a lot of hair. But she is just too precious. So on today's video, besides just, you know, changing her clothes, because that's not my most favorite thing to do, is just make a video and change clothes. I wanted to talk about something. Surprise for me. I have to be inspired. So I actually have a couple of ideas of things I wanted to talk about. So this will be one that I'm doing today for my sweet sis, Yarelis. So I'm actually doing from one of her videos, which I will post the video. I will share it down below. Because she had made a video where she talked about, with artists, about if there is something going on with the artists. If it was a scam or miscommunication, but with artists. So I will tag her original video below. And then I just wanted to share my thoughts and experience on it as well. While changing Miss Penina, my little Penny, I'm so in love with this little girl. When I tell you guys, when I look at my oldest daughter's baby pictures, she looks so much like her. I'm so in love with this little girl. And she was part of Claire's personal collection. So she was made for what Claire wanted to see in her own personal collection. But it's just amazing, it's just amazing how one thing about these dolls, how they can just jar up memories for you, So I took her sleep sack off, and I'm going to keep her little mitts on that I have. It actually matched the bodysuit that she had earlier that I showed you. So her mitts actually match that top, but it'll be fine with this light pink that she's going to have on. So as you can see, her little mitts. And then she's got the little socks that she can wear. Now, she doesn't have armatures in her legs, so very flexible. Look at this cutie patootie. Look at this. She is so cute. I love her silicone. Oh my gosh. Claire did a beautiful job with, I don't know how she pours, however she does it. She did a beautiful job with this pour. But she does have elbow armatures. What I like about the elbow armatures is they're kind of, they're just not noticeable as much because it's just the elbows. So she's just, when I want to lift her, bend her arm or straighten it out, it's really easy to do. Nothing to think about when it comes to the arms. I did put, now this bodysuit, so shout out, let me straighten it up for you guys, to my dear sweet sis, Yarelis, because she sent this to me. And I put this on her, and that is, this baby belongs to Riri's nursery, because she sure does. So that is the bodysuit I decided to put on her, because I wasn't sure at first which doll that I was going to choose to put that outfit on, and I decided I was going to put that on her. So she got that one. And I'm going to put this little outfit on her. So the topic we're going to talk about, like I was saying about, with artists. And it was kind of like on the lines of if an artist could be a scammer. Now, I have been in this hobby for about 6 years now. And 6 years, going on 7 years in the hobby. I've been on YouTube since 2012, but I didn't start my first video until 2022, I think it was. 2022 was the year that I started my very first video. So I just made 3 years making videos on YouTube. And so in my time just in the hobby of buying dolls and collecting, I'm still a buyer. I have not ventured into the realm of painting. And I think I've mentioned it before. I would love to paint a silicone doll. Like, that is my next, goal would be, is to paint a silicone, because I'm more inclined to silicones. I like silicones. So I would love, and because they're a higher price point, I would love to paint my own just to try it. But I don't know about how, I'm going to always do that, because I do work with several artists. And I love their work to where I'm enjoying supporting their work right now. And now I also know my what I like. So I know if I painted a silicone doll, it wouldn't be to my standard because I'm going to be new doing it. But I wouldn't sell it. It's mine. You know, the very first silicone that I choose to paint will be something that I want to keep because it's going to be just to say, oh, I did this. So that's my goal, is to try to paint. I'm hoping by next year to try to paint a silicone. That's my hope. Just to see if how I do with it, how I like it. But right now, logistically, I'm trying to figure out how and where I'm going to do this. But I'm thinking about it, so I want to plan. I'm not going to rush into it and just be like, okay, I'm just going to paint this doll. You know, I really want to make sure that I plan for it, because once I start, I really want to finish. That's the plan. I want to finish. But I was watching her video. I was watching Yarelis' video. Back to the topic. And I liked what she was talking about, because a lot of times we hear about, collectors, buyers doing stuff. Because I do sell. I mean, I have a Reborns account myself, and I sell my collection. And I'm always leery about, oh my gosh, please let me not have anything happen with this sell, But then as a buyer, we still also have to worry about the artist, the seller. We still have to worry. We still have to have those concerns. So I just wanted to share my experience, since I am a collector, what I've experienced in the hobby, dealing with artists. And I have to say, I've had more good than bad. So that is the good thing. I've had more good than bad. Now, having more good than bad, I think comes from, and I'm not saying I did this in the beginning, because in the beginning, I want to say that, yes, I researched, but not as much as as I should have researched as a new time, buyer or hobbyist, with the Reborns. I think it's so important, hindsight being 2020, that if you have the ability, go to a doll show. If you can, go to a doll show. Go for the reasons you want to go. Oh, and sidetracked a little bit. Little Miss got her little outfit on, so this is the first part of the outfit. But go to a doll show, because going to the doll show, you're going to experience so many different types of silicone, so many types of vinyl, so many types of painting styles. You're going to get to talk to those artists there. Because I have to say, when it comes to buying, personality makes a humongous difference. I've been fortunate enough to buy from newer artists to professional, I across the board. And yes, as I've been in this hobby, my attention to detail has grown to where I do want more realism, but I will still buy from newer artists. What I look for in those newer artists is that I can see potential. So when they're making a doll, yes, it's new, it's not as realistic, but you see that this person has potential. They're going. So it's part, oh, I see the growth. And the other part could be personality. If I meet somebody who has a great personality, but they're still learning, I'm going to be more inclined to buy a doll from them. I'm going to be more inclined to want to support them if I can. Now, I'm in a place in my hobby where I've got a lot of people on my list of who I buy from that I kind of slow down, because I have a lot of people on my list that are who I support. So I'm going to, I'm like, ooh, let me, I slow down to where, let me try to see who I'm going to support, this year, because, money only goes so far. I have to be mindful of that. Hold on a second. I have one little interruption. Give me just a second. All right, I'm back. Hey, that's even a better angle. You guys get to see Little Miss Penny better. All right. So like I was saying, I have a lot of artists that are on my list of people that I want to buy from. I still have a list of people that are my wish list of like, oh, I would love to get a doll from this person. So I still keep a running list. And because I'm my goal for 2026 is to not buy something new next year. Mind you, I'm buying, I'm getting new stuff this year, as far as like, I've got a couple of vinyls that I wanted to pre-order. And I just have that, like, oh, I would love this. So I have my dolls this year that'll go into next year. But my hope and prayer is to really focus on just enjoy my collection next year. Because I'm really limited on space. So everything I bring in, I have to be so mindful of. Because I have a playpen with dolls in it. It's not full yet. Stress yet. But I'm just trying to be mindful of what I bring in. I just put in, I have this cabinet right here. I have another cabinet in my room, and I just put in another cabinet. So I've got 3 cabinets in my room that are full. So, but not brimming full, but they're full. So I really want to be mindful because I love this hobby. You guys, I love collecting. So but that's another video. I don't want to go off into the weeds because I do want to make another video. But I am mindful. I am a creature of habit. So when I have a relationship with an artist and it's a good relationship, I do go back to the same thing. I go back to that artist because I trust. When it comes to this hobby, you guys, trust is so important. So important. If I find that an artist has, not kept a deadline with somebody and it gets out there that they have not kept deadlines, I don't want to work with somebody like that because there's trust. It's about trust. Am I going to get what I paid for? Also, it's about honesty. If you're telling me that that's almost like you're lying to me if you're like, oh, this doll will be ready in 3 months, 6 months, and then a year goes by, 2 years go by. That's where there's a problem with that. So I will say, unfortunately, in my experience, I have had that happen to me where I had a doll that I had paid for and I sent it off to an artist, and it was almost 2 years later that I was still waiting on that doll. I've been there. Now, yes, that was a learning experience. Didn't happen again because I didn't go back to that artist. But I got my doll, but I lost money. That's when it becomes one thing that I find interesting with this hobby is that there are artists out there who think they're not scamming customers because if you get the doll in 5 years, I got you the doll. No. That's taking people's money and not providing a product. That's not. If you're going to sit and hold on to a doll for 5 years, 2 years, 3 years, that's ridiculous. It just becomes ridiculous. But if you have an understanding, now if that's something that you have an understanding with that person, then that's one thing. But my experience that I had and that was not a good experience. And I tell you guys, because that's not what was promised to me. It did hurt because I trusted this artist. And now this goes not just for artists, it goes for collectors too, because if we do something shady, the same thing will happen to us. People will talk. I do not believe in just doing the public town crier type of stuff. I don't go out and make a video and talk about people and do all that other stuff. I don't do that. I believe in going to the source and getting what I need at that source. Now, mind you, I already said I was going to take that little loss and lose the money. I already knew it, but I didn't want to lose my doll. Now, if I would have lost my doll, I promise you all would have known who the artist was if I'd have lost my doll too. But thankfully, I got my doll and I didn't lose my doll. I lost time and money, but I was like, I can handle that because I got my doll taken care of and I got my doll. My doll was painted, it was done, and I was happy with the results. But it was a lesson learned for me of, okay, I will not deal with this again. This won't happen because I won't go back to that person. Because that person thought, oh, well, life happens, so, oh, good. But the problem is when life happens as a collector or an artist, what you should be doing is reaching out to your client or to that artist and saying, life happened. This is what's happening. Can you help me out? As a buyer, if I had an issue where I couldn't pay for a doll, then I would go to that artist and say, things have happened, an emergency, I don't have the money. Now, mind you, you shouldn't be buying another doll. There'll be people who will say that and then they buy another doll. Then there's no emergency. But if a true life emergency happened, I got cancer, death in the family, house needs to sell, whatever, go and be open and honest with that buyer and or seller and tell them that. And then you hope, Because if it was me, I would hope as an artist, I would say, no worries. Do you want me to try to sell the doll? And if the person says yes, then I would try to sell. But then as the buyer, I would be like, oh my gosh, if you can try to sell the doll, please do to get your money. If you cannot, would you be willing to give me a grace period? Would you be willing, if I've already made payments, would you be willing to work with me until I can get back on my feet? What I don't like is the expectation, the entitlement of, I don't have it, so oh well. You don't do that. You don't do that. And so unfortunately, that's what I ran into. It was, oh well, life happened and you just have to sit and wait. Now, what people need to understand with PayPal, if you pay through PayPal, they give you about 6 months to get what you paid for or to have any issues. And if you drag that on long enough, you'll have there's gonna be no help when it comes to that. You're gonna have to hope you kept all of your receipts, emails, whatever. You might be able to dispute it with your credit card company if you pay with your credit card or with your bank. Now, another thing that I don't like that sellers will do, and this goes for regular sellers or to artists, a lot of artists or sellers try to use PayPal friends and family, because if they don't have a business account, then they can do friends and family. First of all, we are neither friend nor family. So for you to even fix your lips to say, let's do friends and family, to me is off-putting. If I meet somebody brand new and they tell me, oh, yes, I'm selling my doll, but I want you to spend friends and family. Do you hear the words coming out of your mouth? That said friends and family. I don't know your middle name. I just learned your first and last name. I don't know if you're married, single, children, grandchildren. We never had a picnic together. How are you going to say pay friends and family? Do you understand what friends and family is? But as I've been in this hobby long enough, friends and family rubs me so wrong, because I'm a collector. But as I sell on reborns.com, I do not have a business account, but I never would think to ask anybody to say friends and family. The reason I don't is because I insure. Any doll that I sell, I insure, because I want to make sure that if something were to happen, that insurance should cover something. I'm hoping something. I hold on to monies. I try to make sure that if something were to happen, my buyer is protected. But if you do friends and family, no one's protected. No one. So if something were to happen, an artist who made that doll can say, oh, well, you bought the doll. Leave me alone. Thank you for the money, though, So I don't like that. But thankfully, right now, the artists I work with, it's all up and up. It's goods and services. That's what I prefer. I prefer it because with goods and services, I can use, if I wanted to use a credit card and pay myself back, which I like to do more, because that way I keep my cash and then I just pay my cards back, and it makes it easier on me. I know if you're using it as friends and family, they're going to expect that it's not a credit card. And so there's different fees. I mean, there's so much you have to think about when it comes to friends and family besides just protections. And to me, if you're a seller, and that was a thing, the artists that I worked with at the time did not care that there was more fees coming on to me with friends and family. Because that's another thing you have to think about. If you do friends and family on something that could turn into a business transaction, you're going to be paying, you as the buyer, you're paying fees that the artist isn't. They're putting the fees on you. And so you're paying above what the doll costs. And to me, it's like, do you care then? You don't care. You're sitting there doing that to me and you don't care. So right there, that tells me something else about that person. So one, they honestly may not know, because I did educate one of my artists on that, and they were just like, oh, I didn't realize that. But the person that I felt scammed, that got me, she knew and did not care. Look at this little beauty. Oh my goodness. She looks gorgeous, you guys. Look at her little outfit. Look at Miss Penny. She looks so cute. So that was my 2 cents I wanted to add to about artist scammer thing, because I have been scammed. Even though I will say that person probably thought it was no big deal, because they felt like you will get your doll eventually. But that wasn't the agreement. And it was friends and family. So I've been burned by friends and family. And so I just will say that please do your research. People talk behind the scenes, because I know I have. I make sure I share with my friends who I've worked with, had positive and negative experiences with. Obviously, Miss Claire Taylor, I've had a great experience with. So excited with this little girl here. Let me get her pacifier. But I've had great experiences with her. All the artists I've worked with. Yarelis, who I'm doing this video with, she's an artist. I have bought from her a couple of times. I've had the best experience with her and highly recommend her. But, you know, it's just, those are part of being in this hobby. And I love it. I love this hobby. I've enjoyed my time in it. I look forward to many years to come of being a reborn silicone doll collector. It's just authentic doll collector. It's part of just what I enjoy. I really enjoy this hobby. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys this Sunday. I do want to say, I just do an honorary mention for Miss Patricia over at Patricia Dolly Dreams for Playdate Saturday, because I did want to come out on Saturday and make this video, but this weekend was just, I was resting from the week. It was such a crazy week, but I'm here today, and just wanted to share Miss Penny, share my thoughts on artist scams or collector scams. Like, it can go all over the place, but as a buyer, I just really wanted to come in and give my 2 cents, because it has been inexperienced, and I'm not saying that I won't make mistakes in the future. I just try my best to avoid them. And I will stress to all buyers, whether you're an artist buying or a collector buying, do your research. If it's someone you don't know, try to see what information you can get on that person, and just trust your instinct, trust your gut, because sometimes that really does tell you, and then you kick yourself after the fact. But just try to get your information and trust that person. But I would always stress, always, always, always goods and services. I just say that. I just say always goods and services. Unless that person truly is your friend or family. That's the purpose of it. But FYI, you guys, PayPal is making some changes next month in July that might do away with the ability for friends and family. I'm still researching that one because I don't have a business account. But there's a chance I might have to switch my PayPal to business. So we'll see. Pray for me. But I hope everyone's having a great weekend. And so from Miss Penny and myself, and as a Goonie, Goonies never say die. Have a good one, you guys. Bye.